Girl Scouts! Today we're going to be teaching you how to tie-dye. Here are the supplies you will need. You'll need a surface you are able to get dye on. So here we have a table with some newspaper, a bucket of water along with a cup and a funnel, a pair of gloves, rubber bands, your dye of course, plastic bags or saran wrap, the items of clothing you will be dyeing today, and a fork. Today we'll be teaching you 3 different methods of tie-dyeing, 1 being the spiral, 2 being the bullseye, and 3 being the fade. Next, just lay out your shirt. And for this shirt, I'm going to be showing you how to do the bullseye method of tie-dyeing. You lay your shirt out, you grab it from the middle, you pull it up, and then you're going to take rubber bands and section off, however many you wish. This method is best for younger Girl Scouts, such as daisies and brownies. It's easier for them to either dunk it into a bucket or use the bottle of dye with big sections they're able to identify. After tying off however many sections, it should look like this. And the Girl Scouts will take the dye and put it on each section. Before you begin to dye the clothes, make sure that you have a bucket of some sort to catch the excess dye because this does get messy, so watch out. So with the bullseye method, you're gonna section off each into a different color. So I'm gonna be doing red for the first section, yellow for the second, and then blue for the third. So with this, you really want to make sure that you get deep into the dye and you get it in every little nook and cranny. Because when you put this in the washing machine, a lot of the dye will wash out. So if you want to stick with a nice vibrant color, make sure you really soak it in. Alright, so this is what your first section should look like. Nice and drenched. If you notice, a little bit of the red is on the yellow section, but that is all right because if you create the 2 colors, you can create a little bit of an orange and create a rainbow effect. So again, make sure you really soak it in everywhere, especially with thicker layers. Once you feel it is pretty saturated in the dye, you can move on to the next step. With big sections like this, just get it everywhere. Again, for that rainbow effect, you can kind of mix the colors together. Now grab a partner and wrap it in saran wrap to hold the dye. You're going to want to make sure that the colors do not touch one another, for then it will not blend as nice.
You want your shirt to stay nice and wet inside the saran wrap. But don't be afraid to use lots.
Once you're done with the saran wrap, you want to leave it in there for 6 to 24 hours, however much you wish and how dark you want your shirt to turn out. It's now time to see our finished results. Make sure you put this in an appropriate location because the dye will stain. So now you're going to unwrap your shirt. Do this carefully. Look at this. Now remove the rubber bands and rinse your shirt. You want to make sure to get a lot of the dye out. See how messy it gets? Now let's wring it out and see the results. And here is your bullseye tie-dye. Now we're gonna throw it into the washer.
Now I'm going to be showing you how to do the spiral, or this kind of shirt. You're going to take your shirt and put the cloth in between the prongs. Then you're going to twist into a spiral. Once you remove the fork, and you're going to kind of tuck in the clothes and take rubber bands, and I recommend doing 6 sections.
Spiral tie-dye. Now I'm going to show you the fade method. Whenever you're tie-dyeing, you want to make sure that once you dye it, try and stay away from the rubber bands, because if you mix up too many colors together, it will form this muddy look. Sometimes you really gotta massage the dye into the clothing. On to the next color. With this effect, I kind of want to leave a little bit of a white ring.
Now, just like the shirts, you'll just cling wrap them and set them out to dry or to sit for 6 to 24 hours, depending how dark you want it.